I think one of the biggest health issues that college students face that a lot of people don't actually recognize is mental health. Mental health has a huge stigma around it, around college campuses around the U.S., and I think it's impacted me and a lot of my friends through our transition to college, and it's definitely one of the most prominent issues, health issues on college campuses.
What kind of mental health issues have you seen, and if you don't mind me asking, you and your friends?
I think throughout college, over the course of college, I've seen a lot of anxiety and depression, especially when you transition to college. You see that's kind of, I think, when they start, you're leaving home, you have to make new friends, adjusting to a faster paced course load, and so many other factors that can cause you to be really anxious and can get you to be really depressed.
So how did you deal with this problem?
I personally, when I felt it freshman year, I went to the counseling center, which definitely helped me a lot, but I think that there's a huge lack of education on resources on campus. There is a lot of resources, but I think a lot of people are, one, embarrassed to admit that they're struggling and aren't aware of the resources they can use to get help. I think another way that I learned to cope with what I was going through as a freshman is I actually joined a Greek life organization, and I know Greek life across the country around campuses gets a really bad rap, but it actually gave me an outlet to meet girls and meet other people who were going through the same things as me and struggling with the same things as me, and gave me a really healthy, good distraction, and I'm very thankful for that. And I think, though, like I said, it gets a bad rap, it was very useful for me in learning to cope with and kind of finding good techniques to combat my own personal mental health issues.
For the students who don't speak up and turn to the counseling center, what do you think they turn to?
I think mostly, as along all college campuses, I think students turn to alcohol and drugs. It's an easy outlet, it's a convenient outlet, and especially with all the peer pressure around, it seems like one that people most kind of resource to.
So do you think this campus can do more to combat this issue?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think there's a huge stigma around even talking about mental health and admitting that people are struggling. I think educating freshmen on the outlets, and especially as you get older, it can only increase as you're looking for jobs and you're applying for internships and you feel the pressure and to fit in and succeed. I think if there was more education, not only as freshmen, but as you get older, on ways to find good releases rather than resorting to those drugs and alcohols, it would be really beneficial to combat this mental health issue on campus.
I know you said freshman year many people struggled with mental health issues. As you got older, did they subside or are they still prevalent?
I think that a lot of what people don't realize is when you don't get on top of and learn how to manage them, they don't go away, because as you get older, and I'm a junior, and applying for internships and looking towards senior year, applying for jobs, moving back home, adjusting to all those new life changes, especially as you get a job post-grad, you have to adjust to a whole new life again. So I think they just continue to be more and more prevalent, and that's why it's so important for freshmen at that first big transition of their lives to learn how to combat and cope with those different maybe mental health issues that they're feeling. And it's important for the campus and staff on the campus to be aware and educate the students around that time.
So what kind of advice would you give to an incoming freshman?
To an incoming freshman, I would give them the advice of being knowledgeable of the organizations and their campus's counseling center, because they shouldn't be afraid to use it and go, even if it's just to talk through some ideas of how to make themselves feel a little better, and also to put themselves out there. I know it's very scary when you're adjusting to a new life, but being knowledgeable that everyone's going through the same thing as you often feel alone and that you're the only one, but really everyone's in the same position, and that it gets better, and yeah.